Wrapless Douglas Moore Merry Widow, made out of some top shelf Honduran Rosewood. This wood is musical grade Honduran Rosewood on the forearm and on the butt sleeve. Top shelf right here. In the words of Mr. Douglas Moore, the cue maker, he says, this is musical grade Honduran Rosewood. I have not seen the likes of this in a very long time. You just don't see this type of wood. So in speaking to Doug, he was explaining to me that similar to making instruments, so a pool cue would be an instrument that you would play with, but in regard to instruments, as far as musical instruments, the instruments that are finely crafted, that play phenomenal, have a lot to do, the sound quality, I should say, has a lot to do with the harmonics of the wood. Well, the playability of a pool cue is very similar. Doug says this wood just plays dynamic. Now, admittedly, this is a new cue. I did put one of my Kielwood shafts on it, so it is unchalked, unplayed, by the way. I put one of my shafts on it, and I will agree 100% it plays dynamic. This also has a super joint on it. That is one of the secret sauces that Doug puts in his cues. I'll let the cat out of the bag a little bit with his permission. That is aircraft aluminum that is machined down, and then it is sleeved with Q4. Q4 at the joint and at the cap. It's got a really nice kind of look to it. If you notice how it has the appearance of ivory, that is an ivory substitute. But in comparison to, let's say, for instance, Juma, which plays good, Juma has a softer hit. This Q4, especially with that super joint, is going to have a firmer, more solid hit. That is a radial pin. It's G10 material. That's done by design. That way the cue is not too forward balanced. It is a forward balanced cue, but because this is a heavier wood, it makes it so that it's not too front heavy. So it's balanced just perfect. This is a 16 ounce butt weight, 16 ounce. The handle on this cue is stabilized MapleBurl, another one of my favorite woods. And as you notice, the Honduran Rosewood and the stabilized MapleBurl really complement each other well. This is not a normal Merry Widow. This wood is nothing short of exceptional. You're not going to find this quality of wood very often, and most cue makers that have it will save it for really big cues. Doug just wanted to tease us a little bit by throwing something like this out, and this is one that is tempting for me to keep, by the way. I kind of regret hitting some balls with it yesterday because Doug was ranting and raving about how good it played, and boy, oh boy, was he right. Needless to say, I will give you 100% money-back guarantee. If you don't like the way this cue plays, you can send it back, and I will gladly give you a refund. I'm not a betting man. I don't believe in gambling anymore, but I will tell you, I'd bet dollars to donuts that this cue will not come back. In fact, I will guarantee it. The shafts that are with this particular setup right here, you've probably seen my previous video. These are Doug's new Evolution Kielwood shafts. So this player package right here, for just under only $1,500, not only do you have some world-class top-shelf wood in this cue, made by a really good cue maker, Mr. Douglas Moore, you're getting two high-performance shafts that are a serious upgrade. You know, you've got $600-700 worth of shafts here. Let me tell you a little bit about these. So these are Doug's Evolution Kielwoods. He goes through a torrefication process. He does it all himself, by the way. He doesn't buy blanks and then build them out, and there's nothing wrong with that. The majority of the cue makers that sell Kielwoods, they buy the Kielwoods kind of pre-made. They taper them down to size, and that's fine. No harm, no foul. Doug does what he likes to call hillbilly engineering. He is located in the great state of Indiana, like myself, by the way. So I'm not calling Doug a hillbilly unless I'm calling myself one, but He works in a one-man shop in southern Indiana. And the reason we call it hillbilly engineering is because he goes through all kinds of different processes to develop his cues. And he takes insight from people that do other things, such as musical instruments or such as bows and arrows. He has a friend that makes long bows. And he says that he goes through a process that it's a material, a substance that's called brine. And it's a stabilization liquid that he actually soaks the shaft in for 24 hours before it goes into the kiln. He says that by doing this, the chances of the shafts warping are very, very, very slim to none. So that is Doug's new Evolution Kielwood shaft. There is a little bit of secret sauce up top, by the way. He has done something to lower the weight of the front of the shaft. The reason for that, the lower the weight at the front of the shaft, the lower deflection it's going to be. And boy, oh boy, do they play good. These are a darker roast, which is my personal preference, kind of a medium to darker roast. Still got that honey type color to it. Love them, love them, love them, love them. If you haven't tried a Kielwood, you need to get your hands on this cue right here and these shafts. Doesn't come with one, it comes with two. These are Tomahawk ferrules, and those are also designed to be lower deflection. These are medium ultra skin fire tips, medium ultra skin fires. Again, 16 ounces on the butt weight, so if you like a little bit heavier weight on your cue, this will be perfect for you. And then the shafts are going to come up. One was like around 4.1 ounce, 12.9. The other one was 3.5 ounce, 13 millimeter. Doug will oftentimes do the shafts at slightly different size on purpose. That way you can try out what you like better. You could always take the larger shaft down if you wanted to. The bigger one would be easy to come down. These are sideways S rings at all positions. Let's just enjoy this wood again for a moment. Honduran Rosewood. Very hard species of wood to get. Any cue maker or music instrument maker will tell you that there are certain woods that are becoming very, very, very difficult to get, and this is exactly what that is. Then, of course, the stabilized MapleBurl on the slick handle. 58-inch cue, even split, 29 on the butt, 29 on the shafts. Brand new Douglas Moore. You guys and girls notice we don't keep his cues in stock for very long. I put them up and they sell very, very fast. This cue is going to play phenomenal. And boy, oh boy, how about that wood? Available right now at Crossroad Cues. Check out my website, crossroadcues.com, if you need some financing. If you buy it, we're going to ship it to you right away. Our shipping is first class. We ship out the same day or the next business morning. Treat yourself to a custom cue made by Mr. Douglas Moore.